Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, this is a puzzle on screen, as will be obvious to those of you who are British, that I should have done on November the 11th. And ironically, it's actually called Lest We Forget, and was to celebrate the 11th of November, which is the date on which we commemorate the ends of the two world wars. In fact, I mean, war is a very serious business. I actually got a poppy. I knew this puzzle existed at one point, but I did forget. And that doesn't mean I shouldn't do the puzzle. And I'm going to do it today. And lest you should think I am not a serious person, I will try and recite at least one poem at the end of the video. Not the poem that Lest We Forget the line comes from, which is, I think, Recessional by Rudyard Kipling. But anyway, hopefully I will do In Flanders Fields at the end, because the imagery is very good in this puzzle. I don't think the red colouring matters for the Sudoku. We'll look at this in a moment. Now, talking about good imagery, do have a look at our Sudoku hunt for the month. That's on Patreon, and it is The Wind in the Willows, with Mole trying to find his way through all the puzzles and trying to open his advent calendar at the end, and you can help him with all of those tasks. Do give it a go. None of the puzzles are too daunting, and loads of people have solved them all, and I'm very pleased with that. Well done them. Now, also on Patreon, a new connections video. There'll be a video up of a couple of new games in a day or two as well, and crossword videos that go up there occasionally. So that's there. Now, talking of games, we've of course been playing our blueprints every Monday evening, and Simon had to carry on with the blueprints, and that's gone up now on the channel again for the second week in a row. He had to carry on after our session finished. There's another video for that. So loads of blueprints content as well. I mean, we just bring you loads of stuff. 2 Sudoku videos a day, all the blueprints, Wordle in a minute. And there's our apps. So do get our apps. Check out Line Sudoku, check out Classic Sudoku 2 and the Worms, which are brilliant as well. And Sven's Sudoku pad's linked under the video. But the first link is to this puzzle by Sudoku Joker. I don't know if we've featured Sudoku Joker before, but let's go through the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Numbers inside a white circle must appear in one of the 4 cells that circle touches, and if there's 2 of a number, it must appear twice in those cells. A black dot between 2 cells indicates that one of those cells is exactly double the other, and the black dots are disguised as the centres of the poppies here. Along a green line, 2 adjacent cells have a difference of at least 5, and the digits in the grey cross form a consecutive sequence of digits in any order. And those are the rules. Do give it a try on that first link under the puzzle. I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. Well, we've got double 1 in both of these quadruples, so there must be a pair of 1s. 1 must appear in each row column that's represented, not necessarily each box. And I don't know what that means, really. These green lines are all very short. Right, black dots. Let's think about black dots. Okay, well, there must be a 1 already in one of these cells in this column. Therefore, the black dots have to be selected from digits 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. But we can do slightly better than that. We know, since both of them can't be from the 2, 4, 8 family in this column, one of them must be a 3, 6 black dot. I don't really know how to mark that. The same looks like it's true in column 6, where Oh, there's a very odd green line in column 6. Now, I normally tell you some things about green lines, but that's quite an amusing one. Anyway, I'm going to mark 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 on those. Again, one of them must be a 3-6 pair. I don't really know how to represent that. What I was going to remark on is I normally tell you things about green lines, one of which is totally redundant today, and one of which I normally say you can't put 5 on a green line. You could theoretically have put 5 on this one because it doesn't go into any other cell. The reason you can't put 5 on a green line is because a neighbour on the green line can't have a Sudoku digit. But this one has no 5, but it's because it's on a black dot, not because it's on a single cell green line. Clearly the poppy needs its stalk. That's why we have a green line not going into another box. Now, that's about 5s. Digits must alternate between high and low, higher than 5 and lower than 5. And I would normally tell you something about 4s and 6s being hard to place on these green lines, but they're not on these green lines. All we know about 4s and 6s are, in this puzzle, that if they do appear on a green line, they're next to, respectively, 9 or 1 on that green line. So, I mean, I suppose we know this green line doesn't have a 6 on because there's a 1 in this column already being used. This green line, I mean, I don't know how to mark that. This green line doesn't have a 6 on either. Oh, no, no, it doesn't stop this being a 6-3 black dot because you could have 6 there and 3 here. I started to think I was actually onto something for a moment. I really haven't figured out anything about this puzzle yet. I suppose 5 can never be on a black dot or a green line. Let's include this one because it's on a black dot. So 5 in column 8 is in one of those cells. It's no real use, is it? 5 can't be there or here or here in this box. Oh, it's also not in the 1918 group, so it can't be there. So 5 is in one of these cells in box 8, and then it can't be there, so it's in one of these 2 cells in box 2. It can't be there on the 1914. Oh, 1914, 1918, that's what those circles say. Oh, that's fantastic. The poppies were about World War I, and those are its dates. I had not appreciated that Sudoku Joker. That's brilliant. Anyway, there's a 5 in one of these 3 cells. Now, there's got to be one single 5 on this grey cross because it's a 7-cell set of digits. It's going to include 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a couple of others. I don't really know how to use that yet. Is there anywhere else where 5 is usefully restricted? I suppose in this box it's in one of those 4. Oh, yes, this isn't 5, of course, on this quadruple. So none of these are 5. So 5 in column 3 is in one of those 2. I mean, it's almost useful, but not quite. I might have to weirdly colour the poppies to try and find the 3 6s. In these columns where we haven't really done any markings and there are 2 black dots, they could be 1, 2, 4 and 8, I think. I'm going to have to think about the green lines in some way that I'm quite unprepared for at the moment. Okay, what about the quadruples and the fact that 1, 1, they're a pair either there or there. They have to not see each other. I don't know. Is there anything to stop the 1s being in those positions? That would be quite interesting. Because it would put... If the 1s were in those positions, it's the only way they can be disposed so none neither of these two in box 5 have a 1. And if they are in those positions, then you can tell where the 1 in box 5 is. It has to be there. So there is a 1 in one of these 3 cells in box 5, which is a very strange finding to me. We know there's a 1 in one of those and a 1 in one of those. I don't know. This black dot doesn't have a 1 on either. Okay, let's look at column 3, where 2, 3 and 6 and 4 are definitely used on these black dots. 4 is definitely used on one of those black dots. So for the 1419 or the 1914 quadruple, that must be a 1-4 pair. This must be a 1-9 pair. So now we know that 1, 9, 4, 3 and 6 are used in those cells. These are selected from 2, 5, 7, 8. Now, if that was a 2, this would have to be an 8, and that would be 4. If it was 7, this would have to be 2, and that would be 4. But if it was 8 here, this could be 2 or 3, and that could be 4 or 6. I don't think this can ever be 8, which is a peculiar finding. 8, yeah, because this can't be 4. This green line won't work anymore, because we found the 1-9 pair. That's why. So we can't have 4 here either on the green. Oh no, we can, because that's part of the 1-9. Oh, botheration. Now, this mustn't be a 3-7 pair, because that's not got a wide enough range. So one of these digits is 2 or 8. Is that any use? Don't think it is. Don't think it is. Okay, let's have a look at this digit. If this was a 1, that's going to put the 1s here. If it's a 4, that's going to keep 4 out of those cells and put it onto one of those 2. That would keep 4 out of this black dot and put it onto that one. Whereas if that's a 4, it keeps it out of that black dot and puts it onto this one. And I think what I'm finding there is that you can't have 4 in these 2 cells, but I don't think that's a finding I can really pencil mark. I'm thinking that because if this is a 4, the grey cross needs a 4 here. And if that's a 4, you get a 4 on this black dot and then a 4 in one of these 3 cells. Wow, I'm really not picking up the thread of this puzzle at all. That's a 1. Oh, this can't be a 5, obviously. I don't know why I didn't know that when I was pencil marking 5s. This digit is 1, 8 or 9, and it's on a green line, but that's not a helpful bit of information. Oh, there's no 4 on this black dot. And no 1 on it either. That is important. This can't be from the 1, 2, 4, 8 family. Ah, that's it. Right, so that's the 3, 6 black dot. This is now the black dot with 4 in it. This now doesn't have a 4, and therefore this is also a 3, 6 black dot. Now we've got 3, 6 pairs in those positions, and we need 3 and 6 on this cross in 2 of these 3 positions. Now, there's a 4 in use here, so that can't be 4. There's a 4 in use there, so that can't be... Oh, the 4 in use here... Yeah. The 4 on the cross now can't be in this box, so it's in one of these 3 cells. It can't be there because of the 4 down here, and it can't be there because of the 4 here. So it's in one of these 3 cells, and now this digit is a 1. And that's a 9, that's a 1, that's a 4. We've got actual digits in the puzzle after 11:11 on the clock. How appropriate is that? Unbelievable. Anyway, maybe I'm just making up things. That can't be a 1. These must be the 2 1s now on this quadruple, on the 1918 marker. And now these digits are an 8 and a 9 pair. I'm not so interested in them. I'm more interested in the 1s that we got here. There's no 1 on this cross, so there must be an 8 on it somewhere now. Once you take the 1 off it, the sequence goes up. It includes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and definitely 8. What is this? This is not a 1, so that's not a 6. That's 3, that's 6. This is 8 or 9. 7 must be in one of these cells. Oops. That's how I'm trying to pencil mark that. And then 7 can't be here on the green dot. So it's got to be in one of these two, in box 2. And these digits are from 289, and that's a triple in the box. Is that useful? Yes, the 5-7 pair, which can't go there, must go in these cells. 3, 6, 5, 7, oops. 1. 4 is in use down there. This digit is from 2, 8 or 9. Well, this can't be a 6. It must be 3. And that must be high. And that's a 6 at the top. And we've got an 8, 9 pair. So we don't have 8 down here. We have a 2, 4 pair. These digits are from 5, 7, 8, 9. Right. But 5 and 7 can't be in both of these cells because of that one in the grey. That would be too many 5s or 7s. So this must be one of the 5s and 7s. In fact, the same digit as that is appearing here. Shall I give it a little yellow hash? Might as well. Because otherwise I'll forget the theme of today's forgettage. On the green dot. Right, this digit has to be high, but you can't put 7 and 9 on a black dot. So that's 6 or 8, and this is 3 or 4 that it's connected to. These include 1, definitely, 2, definitely, and either 8 or 9. That can't be a 1. In fact, this is a 3, 4, 6 triple, and that has been long established. And 1 and 2 are up there. These are selected from 5, 7, 8, 9. So at least one of 5, 7, 8, 9 is getting on the cross. And that's either the other of 8, 9. Exactly one of 5, 7, 8, 9 is getting on the cross. That's either the other of 8, 9 or it's a 2. And I don't think I know which yet. But let's do Sudoku. No, let's do German Whisper. That's 6 or 8. This is 3 or 4. What about this line? If that was 6, 3, this is where 4 goes in the column. I don't know. We've got 2, 4 there. Can that be a 2? Yes. 8, 4, 3, 6. If this was a 3, 6, that couldn't be a 3, 6 pair. I mean, it's obvious, but I haven't seen it before, so I'm just recording my thoughts as we go. I don't really know about these other poppies that we haven't looked at and what could be on them. 1 is either on that black poppy or in one of these cells. And then 1, if it was in one of those cells, it would have to be here. So 1's somewhere in this column of interest, as it were. If it's on that black dot, that's a 1, 2 pair. Don't know how to use that. Here. Okay, we've had the 1 in this box. So one of these, again, we're selecting from 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. 3 is looking at that cell. And 4 is looking at this cell, so that can't be a 4. Therefore, if the 4 is on this black dot, it's here. So that's not 2 or 8, that's 4 or 6. We've still got to place 5, 7, and 9 in the box. And whichever of 2 or 8 we're not going to use on these dots. I just don't know how that works. This black dot. Right, let's try and eliminate this being a 3-6 pair in some way. If this was a 3-6 pair, we'd have 3 here, 6 here, and definitely 1 on the green line. And 2, 4 there. Ooh, a 9 in the column would have to go here. These would be 5, 7, 8. I feel like it's unlikely, but I'm not proving it wrong at the moment. 3, 6, and 4 have to be used on the black dot. Oh, we cannot ever, well, no, I worked that out. We couldn't put 4 there. Sorry, I was going to claim we couldn't put 4 here for some reason. It's absolute nonsense. I was basing it on the 9 and just getting my facts all wrong. Oh, Scooby-Doo. 5, 7, what are you doing? Is there some German whisper stuff that is just done and I can't find it? Two, 3, or 8 there. This digit can't be a 9, so if it's high, it's 7 or 8. If it's low, it's 2 or 3. That feels like a restricted set in the context of the puzzle. But I have to remember that 1 could still be sitting in this cell. And then that would be 2. This would be a 3, 8 pair. 1, 2, 3, 8. And I don't think this resolves much. Oh, I haven't done anything in column 8 at all. I've achieved nothing there. This 2, 4 pair that I know about hasn't told me any lessons. 3 is touching 8 or 9. Wow, this is quite tough. This is quite tough. I mean, that's appropriate, but let's try and keep going. 1914, 1918, 6, 3. Oh, this old cross. Have I just not done enough? I sort of thought I'd done as much as I could do there. Oh, maybe there's a relationship with this. If that was from 8, 9, it would be different from the one that was here. Oh, that's quite interesting. Is it? Yeah, this can't be from 8, 9. That's so peculiar. If this was from 8, 9, that's the other 8, 9 cell, so that would be the same as that. And then where does it go in column 5? It would have to go on the cross as well, and that's not allowed. That is a complicated and pretty maneuver. So that's a definite 2. I don't know if it's going to do anything either. Well, it takes 2 out of this cell. I think that's all it does. No, hang on. It does more. It gives me an 8, 9 pair in row 6, and that digit can't be 8 now. So that is low, and this is high, and is 6 or 8. And that's a pair in the column. And this cannot work as 8, can it? We eliminated 4 from here for some reason. Or have I just done that erroneously? I've just done that erroneously now. Bother. It can't be 8. It's 4 or 6. Okay, I'm not resolved at all here, but this is either, if that's 2, 4, that's 3, 6. If that's 3, 6, that's 4, 8. This is low. It's the whisper that goes this way. This is high. Oh, well, that's not going to help because I've got the optionality of 7 or 8 here. Well, if that's a 3, this has to be an 8. Ah, and that is broken. If this is a 3, you've got 6 here and 8 here, and you can't fill that cell. So this is a 2. That's a 4. This is now 3 and 6 at the top. I think this is going to help. That's now a 4. This is 2 or 8. I can't fill that one in. But down here, I can take 2 out of these cells. I've got a 5, 7, 8 triple. I don't have 8 or 4 on this black dot, but it could still be 2, 1 or 6, 3. Now, if it's 6, 3, 1 is going to be here. So 1 is definitely in one of these 2 cells. And we got this 3, 6 pair and 3, 6 pair. So that's not a 3, 6 black dot. 3 and 6 are in these cells. That's not a 1 anymore. 3, 6, oh, that's a 2, 8, 9 triple now. So this digit is 5 or 7. And there's another one of those here. This is now 3, 6 or 7. They're slightly constrained digits on a green line, making this either 8, 9, 1 or 2. I mean, that's what I mean by slightly constrained. Oh, goodness. Well, it was a burst of progress and it suddenly ended. Got that 8, 9 pair still to resolve. This 8, 9 pair. I should maybe colour the 8, 9s against each other. I'm going to do that. Let's go with green and orange. Because the oddity is that I get this quadruple to use as well, so I know that's orange. I mean, this might be nonsense. 8 and 9. There's one of the greens up here. Oh, orange is now there, not there. See, I wouldn't even have spotted that otherwise. Now orange is in one of these 3 cells. Taking out the corner marks. Okay. It didn't go very far, but I did learn something. Oh, 2 and 2. There's a 2 in one of those cells. There's a 1 in one of these 2. These are very minor bits of pencil marking that I can do because they're available, but are frustrating because I just don't know what use they are. There's a 4 somewhere up there. This orange could be there if it's 8, or it could be in one of these cells, whether it's 8 or 9. This row has used the 8, 9 pair. It's lightly interesting, that, but it's not conclusive. Right, if this was 3, 6, 1... Oh, we'd have roping. That would be 2, 4, 9. 2, 4, 9 there. This would have to be 2, 4, 9. It seems quite constrained if this is 3, 6, 1. Again, we'd have 3 and 6 in a set here, but... okay, the reason I would find that slightly interesting I don't know. What if this was a 3, 6 poppy? 3 and 6 would be here, and 3 and 6 are definitely here. they would miss both of these black dots, which would have to be a 1, 2, 4, 8 set. I don't know if that's a problem. Maybe it's not. No, maybe it's not. Bother. I can't see what to do at this point. Right, it's been the case throughout the puzzle. It's quite tricky though. Honestly, this is quite tricky. Even if you're shouting at the screen about something I can do, it is quite tricky. And there, I believe it. Now, 4 and 4, and there's a 4 somewhere here. Can this be a 1, 2? I mean, easily. This, I think, is going to end up being... Oh, okay, if this was a 1, 2 black dot, that digit is 8, and that one is 3. 1, 2, 4, 3, 8. This one is 6 or 9. 5, 6, 7, 9 still to place in the column. Actually, it's just easy. There's no difficulty about that being a 1, 2 black dot. If that's a 3, 6 black dot, the low digit here is a 2. So between these two dominoes, one of which is a Greek line and one of which is a black dot, we are going to use both the digits 2 and 3. I don't see what that does. Does it do something? Not obviously. Can I use this 8, 9 pair? Oh, I could put 9 in one of those two cells using that. 2, 5, 9 have been confined here, and this one can't be 8 either. 9, 8, 2, 5. This is 3, 4, 6, or 7. That's quite a variety of possible digits. And although 3 of them share possibilities on the black dot, they don't rule it out. Wow, yellow, yellow, there's yellow up here somewhere. Goodness me. I'm sorry, I'm sure I'm making an absolute hash of this whole puzzle. Okay, if that's a 6, that seems a very constrained thing, because then we have 3, 6, 1 here. And this has to be, well, we have to use 2. If that's 3, 6, 1, we can whack a 9 in there. And there must be a 5 in one of these cells. That's just not that interesting. Would the 9 at the top have any power? 9 in this column is in one of those two places, which are again quite restricted. If 9's down here, this is 9, 1, 2. That's 4, 8, 3. And that's 5 or 7 at the top, and these are from 5, 6, 7. But if 9's at the top, I don't know what that does. Oh, I've pencil marked 1 as in one of those cells, so that's not a 1. 1 is definitely here in box 4. That's not going to do anything else for me, is it? These can't contain 3. 1, 9, 2, 4, 3. So they're from 5, 6, 7, 8. And they must include this digit. Maybe if I could prove roping. It seems very I mean, we can prove roping if that's a 6, because we get 3 and 1. But if that's a 1, then there's definitely not roping. Then it's 2, 1, and they're in different columns in box 4. 2, 1, 6 or 9. And I'm not finding the proof of that. Okay, let's look at 2 here. If 2 was here, these black dots have to be 4, 8 and 3, 6. That digit would have to be a 7. And this cell would be impossible. That's quite interesting. If that was a 2, I'm just going to go through this again. These black dots couldn't use 1 or 2. They would have to be 3, 6, 4, 8. That digit would be a 7, and this would either, well, couldn't be a 2 or a 1. So that's not a 2. This is where 2 goes in row. Oh, look, I've got that 2 looking at this cell the whole time. Like an absolute idiot. I was just wondering, why does that 2 look at that? Why is that the first look at that I've had? Okay, let's go back here. For this to be low, this is 3. That's 8. This becomes a 2, 1 pair. Okay, I'm not that distressed I hadn't removed that pencil mark, because that doesn't seem to break immediately either. Can I use this 2 for anything else? It seems unlikely. What I can do is say that somewhere in this column there is a 2 either on a green line or on a black dot. Now I expect it to be on a black dot, but if it wasn't, the 2 would be here. The black dots, this would be the 8, 4 black dot, and this would be the 3, 6 black dot, which it's not. That's really interesting. So, I mean, it's not huge, but it is telling me that 2 is definitely on a black dot in this column. But that's not telling me anything else. This digit is not 2, because this... So for 6, 3 to be on a black dot in this column, it has to be 3, 6, 1 here. Now I have not focused on this before. So that might matter. This digit would become a 7, that would be 2, and this would be 4. This would be a 5, 8, 9 triple, where 5 would have to go there, 8 there and 9 there. This would be a 6, 3 pair. This would be 7 and 4. Wow, I mean, it's very prescribed if this is a 3, 6 black dot. We go 3, 6, 1. 2 will be in one of those cells. 3, 6, 1 here. 7, 2, 4 up here. That 7 would be flanked by a 3, 6 pair. Ooh. Right, this does not work. Right, if this was the 3, 6 black dot, this goes 3, 6, 1. That goes 7, 2, 4. It's got to. Now, there's an 8 in one of these cells, and this has to be 6, 3. But that breaks this cell where we've put 7 there and a 3, 6 pair. Goodness me. So this is not a 3, 6 black dot. These black dot digits are the set of 1, 2, 4, 8. That is not a 9. That's never been a 9. I don't know why I had 9 written in there. But this is a set of 1, 2, 4, 8. That one can't be a 1, so this can't be a 2, because 1 is always going to go with 2 in this column, and 4 is always going to go with 8. Since that can't be 4, this can't be 8. That is a 1, 2, 4, 8 set. So everything else in the column is 3, 5, 6, 7 or 9. This blooming digit can be anything but 5. They're all possible. 5 we've always known is in one of those cells. So what did I not get any more than finding this was a 1, 2, 4, 8 pair of black dots? Does it tell me that this can't be 2, 1 over here? This would then be the 4, 8 black dot. Oh goodness, it doesn't tell me anything about that. 1, 2, 4, 8. These are from 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. I'm literally writing the candidates in. 6, no, nonsense. 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. If that is 3, 6, this is 5, 7, 9. That's 8. That's 4. And if this is 3, 6, that's a 3, 6 pair. These are definitely from 3, 5, 6, 7, these cells. Oh gosh, it's still not resolved at all. If this is 6, 3, oh, if this is 6, 3, that can't be 3 anymore. Now, why I'm getting excited about that is it would force it to be high. That would be low and would be 2. This would be 3, 6. So if that was 3, 6, this would be 3, 6. Then we'd have to have 3, 6 here and 3, 6 here. And on the green lines, they would be connecting with 8 and 1. I can't see how that's falsified. Oh, time is ticking on. Wow, this is hard stuff. Okay, if that's a 3, 6 pair, that's a 3, 6 pair. Oh, we've got that 8, 9 pair looking at this cell. I mean, it's almost nothing, but it's not quite nothing. Got a 4 to put in this row, which is either there or there. If it's here, this is a 3, 6 pair, and that's 8. This would then be a 4, 8 pair. There would also be a 4, 8 pair on one of these poppies. That's not 4. Gosh, so stuck. It's probably just some very ordinary German whisper move now. If that's 6, this is 1, 2, 3, 8, 4. If this is 7, then it's flanked by the 3, 6 pair. I mean, that seemed to be a problem. Does that fail? If that's 7, this is 3 or 6, so that's a 4, 8 pair. And then we can't have 7 here. We have to have 7 in one of these cells. It doesn't seem to be a terminal problem at all. I don't think the colouring's doing anything. Colouring is putting an orange somewhere up here, which is 8 or 9. Oh, 9 definitely has to, no. If it was 9, that would have to be in one of these cells. But 9 at the moment can be here. Oh dear, 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 dear. What am I meant to do? What am I meant to do except keep thinking and come up with some brilliant insight that will tell us all how to solve this puzzle? I'm so far from that at the moment, it's ridiculous. 3, 5, 7, 8, 3. This also can't be 1. That's quite a lot of possibilities, but you never know. We might find a quadruple in this row or something with that. No, it doesn't seem very likely. Wow, what's happening here? Apart from me falling apart. A 1 there would go with 1 here to put 1 in one of these cells. If this was 1, 2, that would be 8, 4. Ah, this can't be 1, 2, because this, no, that's not true. I was going to say this needs one of those. It doesn't. If this is 1, 2, that's a 4, 8 pair. But if this is not 1, 2, this can be 1, 2, fine. So that was wrong. Okay, if this is 1, 2, that's 4, 8. This is 3. Four, 8, 3. It looks all too doable, doesn't it? If 4, 8 isn't there, it's here. What's wrong with that? Well, this digit, if this orange digit was 8, it couldn't appear in that black dot at all. That would have to be a 2, 1 pair. Then orange 8 would be there. So if orange was 8, it would definitely be in this cell. Now let's highlight those orange 8s. We'd definitely get one here. We'd have one in one of those two and one of those two, and we'd have to have an 8 there. If orange was 8, this is where it's going in the grid. Even that is not very decisive. If green was 8, shall we think about that? It's not really going to do anything, is it? Because it doesn't tell me anything about its possible appearances on the poppies anywhere. I don't think so. Goodness gracious. Right, 2, 8, 9. One of those two is a 9 in this row, so those don't have a 9 in. 9 in the column has to be in one of those two cells. These are from 1 to 8. If that was not 2, that would be an 8, 9 pair. This would be a 1, 2 pair. Could that be a 1, 2 pair? Yes, we'd have a 1, 2 pair over here and it would work. Right, by far the most constrained thing is putting 3, 6 on this black dot, because that becomes a 1. And what does that do? It gives me a 3, 6 pair down here. Oh, for this to be a 3, 6 pair, both of these have to be 3 and 6 in column 8. Okay, I haven't thought quite in those terms before. For these both to be 3 and 6, they must be touching 1 and 8. Maybe I have thought of it in these terms before. And then the higher digits on the black dots are 2 and 4. For this to be the 3, 6 poppy, we'd also have a 3, 6 pair here in the row, leaving 5, 7, 8 and 9 to be placed in the row. 8 in this row can only be in one of those two places. I hadn't seen that before. Don't quite know how it happened, but it seems to have happened. So these digits are only from 3, 5, 6, 7. Now for that to be a 3, 6 pair, this is definitely 5, 7, and that's 8, 2, 4, and then we'd have 9 at the top and 1 at the bottom if this was a 3, 6 pair. If this is a 2, 1 pair, that's 8 and this is 3. If that's a 3, 6 pair, this is 5, 7 and that's 8. If that's a 2, 1 pair, that's 8 and this is 3. I don't think this digit is ever 7. I think that's what I got out of that, which is almost nothing, probably. So 3, 6 here makes this 5, 7, makes this 8, 2, 4, 1, 9 at the top. But 2, 1 here makes that 8, 3. So 8 is now definitely in use on this green line. Is that any use? No, I don't think so. We knew 8 was in one of those cells. 8. If that's an 8, one of those two is an 8. If that's an 8, that's 8. Wow, I'm not breaking through here. Really not. Now, we began to see digits from 3, 5, 6, 7 here. But if that was from 3, 5, 6, 7, this would be a 9, 8 pair. You'd have 6, 3, 9, 8 pair. Three there, 3 there. That would be 3 in that circumstance, and we've got 3 there and there already. And there, we'd have 3 in one of those, 3 in one of those. I seem to have seen this pattern before, and 3 there. It looks like it does work, doesn't it? That's the frustrating thing about that. I don't see why it doesn't. Have I failed to think? Yes, I have failed to think about this cross. What, 15, 20 minutes? Just longer probably, not realising that we can't put 9 on it and not get 8 on it. So that orange is 8. Well, that was going to do something somewhere. It's huge, isn't it? This is just going to finish the puzzle. 6 and 3 on the poppy here. This is now a 3, 6 pair for definite. And do we know that in the bottom row? I'm not sure. But I thought this orange being 8 was going to do quite a lot. This doesn't have an 8 on it, or a 4 therefore. This is 2 and 1. And this is now a 4, 8 pair, and we do know the order. So orange 8 goes there. Now we're going to get orange in those two areas. This is not 8, this is 2, this is 8, this is 8. Let's get rid of that. Colouring, I suppose, well, let's leave in the orange for now. This is 8 now. We've got, yeah. We can put in the last 8 here as well before we whack a 7 there and a 5 here. That 7 sees a 5 here. Now, we've had 5 on the line, on the cross, so that's a 7. Oh, dear me, what a waste of your time. I'm so sorry. 3, 5. That is 4, 6 or 7. That can't be 4, so the 4 in the row has turned up there. That's 3 and that's 6. This is a 5 for definite now. These can't be 5 or 6. That's a 3, 7 pair. We get 6 there. 7, 9. What have we got to put in here? 5 and 4. They're easy now. That's become a 3. That gives us 6 and 1. We do have roping. That's a 9 at the top. There's a 5, 7 pair that I can't deal with there. 2, 4, 9 as a triple down here. Now, has that 2, 4 been resolved? Not obviously. Got a 5, 7 pair. This is done. This is a 9. And I can take 8 out of those cells. They're a 1, 2 pair. That's a 5, 7 pair. That's a 5, 7 pair. I feel so dense, really. 4 there. We've got a 2, 9 pair down there. This is not, well, it's high now, so it's not 3, and it's not 9. It's also not 7 in the column, so that is a 6. That's 3, 6. 3, 3. We need a 3 in the corner, proving its position. Trying to keep up with you. Now, the 9 there has given me 2 and 9. Okay, let's get rid of the colours. Bye-bye green, bye-bye orange, bye-bye yellow. And now we can put in 2 and 4, a 5 here, 1 and 4 required, straightforward. This has become a 7. Let's do the 5 7s. And then in the final column, another 5, 7. That doesn't look good. It looks like there's too many 7s in this box. So I've gone overexcited on the 7s somehow. I've messed up this box with the numbers I was typing. We had 4 and 7 left to do. That explains it. So this is a 5, 1 pair. That's a 7. And this pair is 2 and 9, and they are resolved. This is 2 and 1, this is 5 and 1 in the corner, and there we go. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely incredible. I did not know that this stanza from Lawrence Binyon's For the Fallen was going to come up in the solution message. It is absolutely appropriate, and it is one of the 2 poetry excerpts I was going to read. So I get to read this straight away now. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. And I do remember my grandfather, for instance, who fought in the Second World War. And I knew a lot of other people who did as well when I was younger. Now, the other poem I was going to read, obviously we have these poppies in the puzzle. So In Flanders Fields by John McCrae, fantastic poem that is the reason that Britons wear poppies to remember the wars. And that goes like this. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row that mark our place. While in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. Which is a fantastic poem and a fantastic reason we wear the poppy. Thank you for watching. We will be back again tomorrow. See you then. Bye for now.